The victim's widow is counting on you tonight. Micky Little was a lorry driver from Essex. There were 400 mourners at Micky's funeral. He'd driven for Ford for over a quarter of a century. He was universally popular with his colleagues and had been with his partner, Sue, for 16 years.
Mike and I were inseparable. We were always together. When we used to walk down the road, people used to say that they remember us walking down the road hand in hand, because that was how we were. I'd pick Mike up in the afternoon, and he came out with me to do a last few deliveries on my job, and we went back to the house, and he didn't have a lot of time to get ready for work.
Sorry, love, I didn't have time to make you any sandwiches.
Don't worry, this'll do. I'll get something else at work.
He enjoyed life to the full, really. He loved his job. He loved driving. He loved being behind the wheel of his lorry.
Love you. Take care.
Yeah, you too. See you in the morning.
I rang him at midnight that night. I always ring him before I go to bed, just to say goodnight, make sure he's okay.
Roger.
Hi. Where are you?
Fleet services. I'll be back about 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, OK. You take care.
Yeah, I will.
Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
That was it. That was the last time I spoke to him.
Mick had already driven from Dagenham to Southampton, and on his way back on the M3 had stopped off for his rest break at the motorway services just south of Camberley in Surrey. Meanwhile, in Camberley itself, in Brackendale Road, someone tried to steal a car. The would-be thief bungled an attempt to hotwire the Renault Clio and cut himself on broken glass. The blood has yielded DNA evidence. Further down Brackendale Road, sometime later, but before midnight, someone took bricks from a building site. At the end of Brackendale Road is a footbridge crossing the M3.
After the initial shock of an object coming through his windscreen on a dark motorway with very little traffic around, the fear that must have gone through the guy and the absolute physical shock, for him then to bring his Arctic to a halt, fully on the hard shoulder, is just an absolute amazing feat.
It was over 3 hours before he was discovered.
We pulled up behind Micky's lorry, and I got out, went up to the passenger door of the lorry. Could see the driver was sort of slumped over to his left. My first thoughts were that he was having a quick nap, so I banged on the door, got no response, went round to the driver's door, and really from that point, when I had a really close look at Micky, I could see that something was drastically wrong. I climbed in the cab. I took his pulse and his wrist and his neck. There was no breathing, no pulse.
He's dead. His window's been smashed. You better call an ambulance.
I miss him dearly. The fact that he was taken the way he was taken, it was just so senseless and unnecessary. And it was just such a waste of a life. I can't believe that no one has come forward, because they've just totally ruined my life.
Oh, with me is DCI Graham Hill from Surrey Police. Graham, it's so tragic, this case. We showed only one man throwing the brick. I mean, it's feasible it could have been a group of people.
Yeah, I think when the Renault Clio was found, all 4 doors were open on that vehicle, so it suggests that at least more than one person were involved. And we strongly suspect that the theft of that vehicle is connected to the death of Michael Little.
Now, you're bound to find the people who tried to steal that car in time. And we showed someone tried to hotwire and got blood on their hands, and you've got DNA from that car, so you're going to get there in the end, don't you?
We've definitely got good samples of DNA, and I would urge viewers to ring in with people that they think may have been responsible for the theft of the vehicle. We can eliminate those people very quickly from our inquiry.
Now, a car being broken into is a crime, but nonetheless, in comparison to a murder, and this is in a murder investigation, it's a pretty minor crime. What would you say to people who may have been involved, perhaps, in trying to nick that car, may have some idea of what went on that footbridge, but who haven't come forward yet?
Well, I would say to them that we are focused on the murder of Michael Little. We want to identify the killer of Michael Little. If they were involved in any other part of what went on that evening, they need to come forward and explain what they did. We will listen to their account, and we will make a decision on our actions based on their account. At the end of the day, there is a substantial reward of £25,000 on offer for information leading to the arrest and conviction in this case.
I suppose it is possible that they may not have realised quite how serious it was. I mean, what in fact happened is as that brick went off the bridge, it hit Micky's cab, went through the windscreen with such force that when it hit him on the chest, it stopped his heart and he died almost instantly. Now, whoever was, if there were people with the person who threw that brick on the footbridge, perhaps they didn't realise quite how serious it was.
If that's the case, then they need to come forward and tell us. We need those people to come and give us their account. At the end of the day, if they're covering up for other people, then they're committing serious offences in their own right. So I'd urge them to think very hard and contact us and give us an account of what went on that night.
Now let's just remind people of the actual footbridge where it was, because that's actually key to the investigation.
Yeah, the footbridge is located between Junction 3 and Junction 4 on the M3 motorway. It stretches between Camberley and Frimley and is accessed by Brackendale Road, where the car was broken into.
Now, what we want to know is if you know anything about what happened on that footbridge, or perhaps you were driving along that night and you saw something, or maybe someone tried to lob something off the footbridge onto your vehicle. If you know anything about this crime at all, give us a call. The number's 0500 600 600, or you can call the incident room on 01306 676 329.